when revolutionaries rewrote the rules of religion. On July 12, 1790, a storm brewed in France. The National Constituent Assembly passed a bold law, the Civil Constitution of the Clergy. This law aimed to put the Catholic Church under state control. It shifted power dramatically. No longer would the Pope stand as the supreme leader in France. Instead, clergy members were now required to pledge allegiance to the nation. This was revolutionary. Many clergy resisted. They saw this as a betrayal of their faith and tradition. It wasn't just a policy change, it tore apart the fabric of the church itself. The nation was divided, with some clergy supporting the new law, while others remained loyal to the Pope. The repercussions were immediate and severe. A significant schism occurred within the church. This division didn't just stay within the walls of cathedrals, it spilled into the streets, fueling anger and counter-revolutionary sentiments. As France spiraled deeper into chaos, debates ignited. Was the state right to control religion? Was this a necessary step for progress, or a dangerous overreach? Many wondered what this meant for their faith and freedom. The echoes of this decision can still be felt today. The clash of loyalty to faith versus loyalty to the nation raised questions that linger. This moment of the French Revolution reshaped the landscape of religion and politics forever. Subscribe for more stories where politics and faith collide.
In Brazil, June 12 means Dia dos Namorados, a day dedicated to lovers. This celebration takes place just before St. Anthony's Day, a day for matchmaking. Here, couples exchange thoughtful gifts, surprising each other with tokens of love. Traditional gifts range from chocolates and flowers to personalized items that hold meaning in the relationship. The night is filled with romance. Restaurants offer special menus, often featuring candlelight dinners. Many couples choose to cook together, preparing their favorite dishes or something new. The kitchen fills with laughter and the aroma of delicious food. In addition to gifts and meals, music plays a crucial role in the festivities. Many choose to dance to romantic songs, creating an intimate atmosphere. Whether it's samba, bossa nova, or a modern tune, music enhances their bond. Friends gather for larger festivities, bringing a sense of community. They join in celebrations, engaging in games and sharing stories about love. Sharing these experiences makes the day richer. For many, Dia dos Namorados is not just about romantic love. It's about friendships and family as well. The day encourages a broader love, reminding everyone to cherish their closest relationships. After all, love manifests in many forms. The joy of this day is felt by all, spreading warmth and unity across Brazil. Like and subscribe for more great Brazilian history.
The dam that tamed the Nile and transformed Egypt. On July 21, 1970, Egypt accomplished a remarkable feat, the completion of the Aswan High Dam. This massive structure spans the Nile River and reshaped the nation's future. Before the dam, the Nile's annual flooding brought destruction and chaos. The dam changed all that. It brought control over the floods, allowing farmers to thrive. The land transformed into a flourishing agricultural hub. Now crops grew in abundance, ensuring food security for millions. Moreover, the dam harnessed the river's energy, generating hydroelectric power. This clean energy fueled factories and homes, sparking industrial growth. Egypt began to modernize, entering a new era of prosperity. Another remarkable benefit was the creation of Lake Nasser. This vast reservoir not only stored water but also became a thriving habitat for wildlife. Tourists traveled to see its beauty, boosting the local economy. However, the dam was not without consequences. While it fostered growth, it displaced communities along the river. Still, most agree the Aswan High Dam significantly shaped Egypt's modern landscape. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity amid nature's forces. How do you think such monumental projects shape countries today? Share your thoughts. Subscribe for more transformative infrastructure stories. A new chapter in Russian sovereignty begins June 12, 1990, marked a pivotal moment in history. The Russian parliament boldly declared sovereignty from the USSR. This act ignited the journey toward the establishment of the Russian Federation. It was a day that reshaped the nation's identity and future. This declaration meant more than just political independence. It symbolized hope, freedom, and resilience in the face of adversity. Fast forward to today, Russia Day honors this historic event annually. On this day, people gather to celebrate their culture and commemorate their heritage. The atmosphere is vibrant with festivities, art exhibits, and music. Young and old share stories of a past filled with struggle, victory, and the pursuit of self-governance. For many, national sovereignty signifies the right to make choices about one's own future. It resonates deeply in the hearts of citizens who value their independence. To them, it represents unity, strength, and the power to shape their destiny without external control. However, national sovereignty also comes with responsibility. It challenges individuals to work together towards a common goal. As Russians celebrate their identity and independence, they are also reminded of the importance of community, respect, and cooperation. What does national sovereignty mean to you? Is it a source of pride, or does it symbolize a deeper responsibility? Engage with this thought and reflect on the essence of freedom in your life. Subscribe for more moments that shaped nations. The river that shaped New South Wales. On June 12, 1789, Governor Arthur Phillip stood by the Hawkesbury River. The sun was rising, casting golden light on the water. It was a pivotal moment for New South Wales and its future. The river wound through the landscape, revealing fertile lands and abundant resources. This discovery was not just a geographical finding, it was a turning point for the colony's expansion. Phillip realized the river could sustain agriculture. It promised food, growth, and stability for the struggling settlers. Days turned into weeks as they began to cultivate the rich soil along the banks. Crops started to flourish, giving hope to a colony that had faced many hardships. As news spread of this fertile land, more settlers arrived. They sought opportunity, community, and a chance to thrive in this new world. Each settlement along the river built a story of resilience and aspiration. The Hawkesbury became a lifeline connecting hearts and dreams. But it wasn't just the settlers who thrived. The indigenous communities held a deep connection to this land. Their stories, traditions, and stewardship were interwoven with the river's flow. They had known the river's significance long before Europeans arrived. Today, the Hawkesbury stands as a reminder of that historic day. It bridges the past and present, echoing the stories of all who have walked its banks. It beckons future generations to remember and honor their roots, encouraging us to explore the natural landmarks that shape our histories. Subscribe for more explorations into Australia's past, laying the financial foundation of a nation. The Bank of Korea opened on June 12, 1950, during rising tensions. Weeks later, the Korean turmoil erupted, plunging the nation into chaos. In these uncertain times, the central bank became a beacon of hope. Its mission was to stabilize the economy and restore faith in the future. Every decision made in those early days was critical. The populace was anxious, living in fear of the unknown, yet the bank stood firm. Initially, chaos threatened the economy, prices soared, and trade nearly collapsed. The people looked to their leaders for guidance, and the Bank of Korea stepped in. They developed new monetary policies to curb inflation. Against the backdrop of the unknown, they issued currency to support the economy. This intervention helped the citizens regain some stability in their lives. Businesses could now trade with confidence, knowing the value of money was being upheld. The bank also negotiated with international partners for aid. This collaboration brought in resources, proving essential for an uneasy economy. As the tension raged, the bank worked diligently to keep the economy afloat. Through innovation and perseverance, the Bank of Korea emerged as a vital institution. Its foundation laid the groundwork for recovery after the turmoil concluded. Today, we can see that strong central banks can guide nations through economic shadows, helping them rise again. Subscribe for more insights into economic history. When Japanese women stood up for workers' rights. On June 12, 1886, the Amamiya Silk Reeling Company in Japan witnessed a pivotal moment. Almost 100 women rallied together, fueled by their frustration. Wages were cut and work hours became unbearable. United, they resolved to take action. It was Japan's first organized industrial strike. These skilled silk workers had suffered long enough. Their struggle echoed the nationwide discontent in factories. They united to demand fair pay and humane conditions. With every chant, their determination echoed through the factory halls. Management initially dismissed their concerns, believing they could suppress the discontent. But the workers stood firm. They decided to halt production, showcasing their critical role in the industry. As news spread, support grew. The public began to take notice. Their courage sparked discussions beyond the factory walls. Workers from other sectors began to join in solidarity. This was the birth of a movement seeking justice and equity. Within days, the eyes of the nation were on Amamiya, and the demands echoed far and wide. While the strike ended without immediate success, it planted seeds of change. It inspired labor movements throughout Japan, igniting a fire that would burn brightly for decades. These women shaped a legacy, showing that unity could challenge the status quo. This crucial moment in history paved the way for better labor rights and protections in Japan, proving that ordinary workers can invoke extraordinary change. Subscribe for more stories of labor rights and activism, the dynasty that ushered in China's golden age. On June 12, 618, in a small Chinese town, Li Yuan gathered his advisors. The kingdom was in turmoil and the people needed stability. With a deep breath, he declared himself Emperor Gaozu, marking the birth of the Tang dynasty. This moment was the dawn of a golden age. People celebrated with joy as they felt hope awaken in their hearts. The Tang dynasty became famous for its vibrant cultural scene. Imagine grand poetry competitions held in beautiful, moonlit gardens. Art flourished too. Skilled painters created stunning masterpieces depicting nature's beauty and graceful landscapes. But it wasn't only art that thrived. Technology advanced as well. Innovative inventions transformed everyday life. The printing press emerged, revolutionizing communication. The Tang dynasty also embraced diversity. Merchants traveled along the Silk Road, bringing goods and ideas from different cultures. Food, music, and traditions blended, creating a rich tapestry of experiences. As the years passed, the Tang dynasty left an unforgettable mark on Chinese history. It symbolized progress, creativity, and unity. What aspects of the Tang dynasty excite you? Is it the art, the technological advancements, or the cultural richness? Each has shaped a legacy that still resonates today. Subscribe for more deep dives into China's rich history. A civil rights hero silenced but not forgotten. June 12, 1963 was a dark day. Civil rights activist Medgar Evers stood outside his home in Jackson, Mississippi. He was a beacon of hope, fighting for equality in a troubled time. Unfortunately, his brave battle came to an abrupt end. An assassin's bullet struck him down, tearing through the thin veil of hope for many. Evers' death sent shockwaves across the nation. His legacy turned grief into a powerful spark. Friends and supporters rallied, chanting his name. They knew Medgar wasn't just a man. He represented countless others yearning for justice. Protests erupted. People marched in the streets demanding change and equality. His assassination highlighted the dangers faced by activists and served to fuel the ongoing fight for civil rights. In the wake of tragedy, Evers' family became symbols of strength. His widow, Myrlie, continued his fight, advocating for justice and equality. She turned her heartbreak into action, proving that every act of courage matters. Years later, his memory lives on. His story inspires new generations to carry the torch of equality. Today, we honor leaders like Evers by standing up for justice. We speak out against discrimination and uplift marginalized voices. Our commitment to equality is a tribute to their sacrifices. Medgar's fight may have been cut short, but his legacy pushes us forward, reminding us that the battle for justice continues. Subscribe for more pivotal moments in civil rights history. From prisoner to peacemaker, Mandela's global recognition. In 1993, two men from opposing sides of South Africa's tumultuous history were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Nelson Mandela and F.W. de Klerk were recognized for their extraordinary efforts in dismantling apartheid. Their journey was fraught with challenges, yet it was marked by a profound commitment to peace. Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, emerged not with a heart of vengeance, but with a vision for a united South Africa. His spirit inspired many. He believed in dialogue over discord, understanding over conflict. De Klerk, a former president of the apartheid regime, recognized the inherent dangers. Together, they took brave steps toward change. Their leadership made history, altering the course of South Africa. It resonated around the world, symbolizing the fight against oppression. Mandela's legacy is a beacon of hope, illustrating how forgiveness can triumph. But what does Mandela's legacy mean to you? Is it a reminder that change is possible against all odds? Or does his commitment to unity encourage you to engage in dialogue? Reflecting on his story reveals that the fight for equality and justice must continue. Each one of us holds power in our hands to shape a world where all voices can be heard. Subscribe for more stories of leaders who changed the world. A court verdict that shook the foundations of Indian democracy. On June 12, 1975, a crucial event unfolded in New Delhi. The Allahabad High Court delivered a stunning verdict. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was deemed guilty of electoral fraud. The court invalidated her 1971 election win, throwing the nation into turmoil. Reactions varied as the news spread. Supporters were stunned while critics rejoiced, hailing it as a victory for justice. Political unrest simmered only hours later. Facing potential loss of power, Indira Gandhi took extreme measures. The next day, she declared a state of emergency. India's democracy faced threat for 21 months. Civil liberties disappeared, dissent was crushed, the media was censored, and opposition leaders were imprisoned. Fear enveloped the streets as citizens faced a rightsless reality. Families secretly whispered of rebellion. Activists created underground networks, risking all to resist. In this shadowy world, hope flickered, igniting a spirit of resistance. Not all saw the emergency as a disaster. Some believed strong leadership was necessary for stability. As months passed, the toll increased. The emergency concluded in 1977, reinstating elections. Yet, the scars remained, reshaping India's political landscape. This historical moment prompts reflection. What is your view on the emergency's impact on India's democracy? Subscribe for more critical moments in political history, when peasants challenged the crown. In June 1381, a wave of defiance swept across England. Thousands of peasants, tired of feudal oppression, marched toward London. United in spirit, they longed for change. With pitchforks in hand, they sought justice, equality, and a voice for the future. Upon reaching the city, rebels found open gates. The common people of London joined them, swelling their ranks. Their banners symbolized hope and rebellion. The air crackled with anticipation as they demanded reforms that would lift the burden of heavy taxes and harsh laws. But the ruling class watched nervously. This uprising threatened their way of life. King Richard II, young yet aware, heard tales of the marchers gathering strength. He knew he must act. His advisors urged dialogue while others clamored for force. The choice weighed heavily on his shoulders. In the streets, the peasants shouted for rights and dignity. They sought a society that recognized their hard work. Their cries were of a new era where wealth could be shared, not just hoarded by the privileged. It was a moment in time where social change felt within reach. As tensions escalated, the king finally agreed to meet the leaders of the revolt. Was this the moment for peace? The peasants remained hopeful. They stood united, ready to fight for a better future. Their spirit echoes through centuries, inspiring modern movements seeking justice. Today, as we carry their legacy, we ask ourselves, what movements reflect their courage? Let us share our insights. Subscribe for more stories of resistance and change.